Hi, I'm Adam, and today I'm going to talk about what Easter is. This may seem obvious for some people, but for people like me who grew up in a Jewish household or any other type of household that's not Christian, you might not know. For example, I grew up thinking that Easter was about finding chocolate eggs and bunnies, but recently I found out that it's actually about the death of Jesus Christ. So Easter starts with a week called Holy Week, which is a week in which Christians celebrate the events leading up to the death of Jesus. Now, I couldn't tell you all the things that have happened on this week, but I know part of it is the Last Supper, for example. If you know the famous picture of Jesus eating, where everyone's seated on one side of the table, it's weird when you think about it. That happened on Holy Week. So, skipping to Good Friday, that is the day where Jesus had his court appearance in front of both Pilate, who was the Roman governor, and also Herod, who was the king of the Jews at the time. Now, both of them tortured him and mocked him and other various things. And this all led up to Jesus being tried and killed as for blasphemy. But they didn't have any real charge against him, which is why he was a martyr. Anyways, he was nailed to a cross and then left there to starve or bleed out. I'm not sure exactly how it goes down, but either way, it doesn't sound fun. It sounds very painful and something that none of us would want. Anyways, that happened on Good Friday, thousands of years ago. Now, you might ask, why did he do that? Well, the whole concept is that we sin, and the price of that sin is death. So instead of us having to die and receive condemnation for that, Jesus died for us. But anyways, so on Good Friday he died, and then that Friday night, Saturday, and I suppose the start of Sunday, he was dead. He was just dead. But on the third day, he arose from the grave. There were some women at his grave, and they discovered the stone that was covering his grave was amiss. And then they were they weren't sure what was going on, but they saw a man in white robes who we can assume was an angel saying, I'm going to paraphrase here, so don't check me against your Bible. Sorry, there's a cat fight outside my room. And the angel said, basically, don't worry. He's risen. And well, that must have been interesting news to hear. Like, a guy's risen from the dead, and the big stone that was there before, it's moved, and he's now somewhere else. He's going to Galilee now. Anyways, that's Easter Sunday when we celebrate that Christ was risen from the dead. Anyways, I hope that. Oh, I should add, some people call it Resurrection Day on Easter Sunday. And my church, we did a sunrise service where, as a symbol of Christ rising from the dead, we got up really early at 4 a.m., 4:30, so that we could climb a mountain and then watch the sunrise as a symbol of Christ's resurrection. So that was a fun time, but I had to take a nap that day. Anyways, I hope this helped for anyone who thought it was about chocolate and bunnies.